Assuming you're a Dota Flows player and your gameplay looks a little bit something like this.
Flash out!
Launching an assault on Objective Bravo 2. Objective Bravo 1 is under attack.
And by the time you're done watching this video, your gameplay will look a whole lot more and even better than this.
Objective Charlie 1 is under attack. Victory in sight. They can't hold much longer.
And as you saw from the thumbnail, in this video, I'm going to give you all the recommended HUD configurations and settings that can implement into your game to find your own unique playstyles that improve your gameplay. So starting from this, we're going to start with first and foremost, we're going to go into the settings. We'll pick controls, and controls is basically where the HUD configuration settings are put in. Then you can also go for gameplay. Gameplay is basically sensitivity. Sensitivity is where you can adjust how fast your character rotates for every distance you move your finger and that kind of stuff. So starting with HUD, the game, like this is my own custom HUD, and if you're a really new player to the game, this would look very different from what the game would give you. And what the game would give you would be something like this. And unfortunately, most new players will just stick with this pre-built HUD configurations set by the game devs on their own, until when they now feel the need to enhance the gameplay, then they will start thinking of customizing it. And I'm here to guide your decision making process to customize your HUD. Okay, so like the first question most people always ask in terms of your HUD configuration is how many fingers you're gonna use to play your game. Of course, many people always play with 2 fingers, that is 2 thumbs. Some with rare skill, or like at least a little bit above average skill, will play with 3 fingers, while others will play with 4, like the unique ones will play with 4, and then some crazy kind of people play with more than 5. To be honest, not like you have 10 fingers. So I've seen people who actually play with 5 and even up to 8, to be honest. And it's really crazy. And not gonna lie, once you get used to your own custom gameplay and your own custom HUD configuration, there's nothing stopping you. Like that's why, like this is basically my own custom made HUD configuration to fit my playing style. So in this video, we're going to be covering HUD configurations for players that use 2 or 3 or 4 fingers. I use 4 fingers personally, and I believe that at least that is a good amount. That is a normal number of fingers to play with, because most people that play with more than 4, I don't really know what to say about them. But anyways, yeah, so this is the basic 2-finger setup I've put for y'all, because this is a little bit, I've slightly adjusted the game's default customization settings. This is basically what everything looks like, because like what the customization looks like. Just basically expand the firing button and adjust the motion, but like nothing too simple, nothing too spectacular, but at least it's something that your 2 thumbs can easily handle and operate on. So now, like this basically is the 2-finger HUD configuration. It's very normal, it's very basic, basically similar to what everybody else is using, but we don't want to do what everybody else is doing. So we're going to focus on the 3-finger configuration. So the 3-finger configuration now focuses on either 3-finger configuration usually carries your 2 thumbs alongside either your right index finger or your left index finger. So like between one of those 2. So in this configuration, we're going to be using our left index finger for the and then when I move the right firing button now, like you know that now there are 2 firing buttons. So let me just clarify this. The right firing button is for the one with ADS, like one when you press to shoot, you always like you already locked into aim or to scope already. While the left firing button is basically what you call hip fire, like you shoot without scoping. That is basically. So I'm setting up the three finger configuration. And normally, most gamers, of course, especially content creators, especially gaming content creators like myself, usually like after picking a configuration, getting used to it, then we'll now reduce the opacity to it because due to muscle memory, we'll just happen to remember where the our controls are. So we're gonna like test out this. Go to our loadout page, loadout menu, pick up one of our guns, and then go into the firing range to practice up our skills. So like this, I'm basically going to tell you how to like, get to the firing range. Like of course, after checking out your weapons settings, just click on the button down there. You enter the firing range. It's not too difficult. And of course, it doesn't really require too much. Doesn't require like other players to join, just you. So now this is the three finger configuration in at play. And right now I'm going to be using my left index finger to be controlling the ADS button up there. So like now here one like the here is basically how the whole thing works. Like using the left index finger, controlling the right fire button, leaving, and then my left thumb is focused on the joystick and movement. Then my right thumb will be focused or centered more on the body movement, reload, and direction. So like that is basically it. So like at least this setting, this configuration is very easy. At least it's way easier to use. At least it's very easier for people to get to like to adapt to, because you basically have the ADS, but you can customize your movements and direct, like at least you can add more movement to your shooting. At least if like just train on this initially, like train your accuracy first before you then work on your movement, because if your movement is good and have terrible accuracy, you're basically as good as trash, not gonna lie. But anyway, so yeah, so of course I have to add up the gun inspection button. At least let me say I'm playing like a private lobby or something like that. Let me say I'm even making content, you can as well just use the gun inspection button as per flexing. Not gonna lie, it's actually quite cool. I would say like the developers at Delta Force really did a good job in the animations. So this is basically how the three finger configuration and three finger HD configuration works. And now in this firing range, they actually have a whole lot like they actually have freedom to test out one or two, like to customize the firing range to your own settings. I'm sure we all know the saying practice makes perfect. So I recommend that as you pick either one of the, at least you pick either the number, when you pick the number of fingers you're comfortable playing with, and then you now pick your HUD configuration for that, for the number of fingers, then you can then make your then you can now make your decision and practice based on that configuration you've made. Any adjustments can be made, but make sure you stick with one and improve on that one, so that at least you can have an edge over most players. Because most players in this game, this is a relatively new game, so we're gonna be like working on, like most players don't really have their own unique shooting pattern. And now we're gonna be using the four finger configuration recommended by myself. This is my four finger configuration. It looks so hollow because I like reducing the opacity so you all can get a clearer view of the gameplay. So like it basically has the, instead of using the right fire button, that the button with ADS, it basically just uses the left fire button here, is hip fire, and the scoping button separately. So I'm using my right index finger to handle the left fire button and using my left index finger to handle the scoping button. Confusing, I know, right? But anyways, in this firing range, you can also like select guns that you don't even own and just customize them and test. Just, like, the firing range is basically like just a practice area where you can test out your skills in various guns and everything like that. Okay, so I'm going to be testing out the AWM sniper rifle using my personal HD configuration layout. Okay, so like the configuration layout now, I think I tried to explain it earlier, but just thought I'm using four fingers to play with this. I've seen game like players who have used five fingers, and like the way they set it up is really, really fascinating because it's really crazy, not gonna lie. Like it's really crazy, like using five fingers or up to even six to just like play a mobile game. But anyway, that may even be the fun of it. Who knows? But anyways, this is just basically the configurations I've given out for 2 to 3 and 4 fingered players. So if you have any suggestions or have any questions based on your own personal experience or your own HD recommendations and settings, just just feel free to say it in the comments. I'll make sure to reply at the comment as soon as possible. And don't forget to leave a like if this helped, and also subscribe to at least see more helpful tips and tricks to become a better Delta Force player. So see you on the next video, and also don't forget to check out my gameplay videos for more epic gameplay and MVP moments. Stay cool.